With heels, yeah.
I just turned 68 years old.
Great.
Thank you, a milestone. I don't feel 68.
You don't act.
So, how old are you? I don't mean in chronological years. I mean, how old do you feel?
27.
I feel like I'm 19. Steely Dan's title song, Hey 19, is my mantra. I can do this headstand because I can. And because retirement is not an option. So, since retirement is not an option, why am I standing on my head? Well, because it's my business. I'm a yoga teacher. That's right, I'm a yoga teacher, and standing on my head is my business as well as my passion. Now, how many of you in the audience are over the age of 65 and think retirement is in your future? And how many of you in the audience are still involved in the workforce and think retirement is in your future? Raise your hands. How many do? Retirement is in your future. Are you retired? Do you feel retired? You are retired. Okay. Well, I'm going to stop this right now and say, folks, contrary to popular opinion, it's my position that retirement is not an option. That's right. Retirement is not an option. Because what are you going to do? Are you waiting to die? Of course not. You're not going to dissolve into the woodwork. You're not going to leave society. You're not going to watch the paint peel off the wall. Of course not. You know what Walter Cronkite called retirement? Statutory senility. I'm not having any part of that, and I know you're not either. So I'm here today to shake up the idea of retirement. Turn it upside down, stand it on its head, and share with you my passion for a new way of thinking about what I call Act 3, the best and most exciting time of our lives. Act 3 is about exploring and discovering new and different ways of growing older, which require a new and different approach to living our life to the fullest. Act 3 is not about what happens to you. Act 3 is about what you do with what happens to you. Act 3 is about making choices to claim our highest level of well-being. When that includes our ability to realize our dreams and our passions. And that in turn will make us a whole lot happier. So, color me happy, boomers. We've got more opportunities and options to get the life that we want and deserve than you could ever possibly imagine. Do you remember when our parents retired? Right about now, that seems like an ancient ritual. Kind of old school thinking. They sat in front of the television set and watched TV all night. Maybe on Saturday they played bingo. Maybe they played cards with friends. Improving Dad's golf game was really important. And Mom could never get Dad to travel anywhere. And so since their life was pretty sedentary, not very much physical activity, they had some health issues earlier than probably they would now. And even they died sooner than they should have. So I would like to ask you to set aside the old cliched ideas about retirement and come on an exciting and meaningful journey with me. Together, let's turn the concept retirement upside down, stand it on its head, and create a new paradigm for growing older. It drives me crazy when people say they're going to retire, because it's not applicable or relevant in the 21st century. There's some support for this. A recent AARP trend survey reports that boomers, all 76 million of us, are going to lead the way in growing older by being smart and productive, and by taking our hopes and our aspirations and balancing them with a renewed sense of purpose. There's a famous gerontologist named Ken Dykewald, And he calls the boomers the age wave transformation. And he talks about longevity. We are going to live longer. So there's a new sense of freedom knocking at our door. Maya Angelou, on the occasion of her 73rd birthday, she said, "I've learned that making a living is not the same thing as making a life." Now, we've all made a living, but have we all made a life? Work is important, but what's even more important is living creatively, because that brings context, creative context and meaning into our daily lives. So let's think of our life as a 3-act play. I'm from theater, so that works for me. So the first 2 acts, the formative years, our education, our family, marriage, work, well, those early and the middle years, they're the prelude to the best act of the play. That's Act 3. And Act 3 begins with the great big goodie basket. This basket includes everything we are as an individual. And you know what? We're a gold mine of thoughts, of ideas, passions, virtues, emotions, everything that we have ever experienced in life, our struggles, our successes, our joys, our fulfillments, everything we've ever done, everything we've ever been goes into this basket and sets us up for the perfect Act 3. Now that's better than Forrest Gump's box of chocolates, don't you think?
Yeah.
So I want to offer you guys a challenge. I want you to create the most awesome Act 3 imaginable. I want you to have the most amazing time of your life in Act 3. And since we're going to go on this journey together, I want to share with you 5 meaningful, simple tools to help you get the life that you want and the life that you deserve in Act 3. Now, I'm sure you've heard of these tools. They're not new. But maybe you haven't thought about them in the context of creating a life that you want and a life that you deserve. Because these tools will start you thinking proactively about Act 3 by opening your mind to new and exciting ideas, by reducing resistance, and by taking your innovative spirit out of the old file boxes in the garage and putting your ideas to work in the world. Now, before we get to the tools, we have to talk about 2 things. We have to talk about 2 elephants in the room. And the first is age. Boomers do not like to age. We think that staying young forever is our entitlement. But I'm going to cut through that, because it's my position in life that you're only as old as you want to be. Hey, 19. My boyfriend even thinks I'm 19, and I don't even dissuade him otherwise of that fact. So we all know then that age is not so much chronology but an attitude. But the question then is, how do we get this attitude? How do we hold on to it? How do we know what positive things can come from this attitude? Well, an attitude by definition is a judgment. And this judgment influences our behavior. So if you feel cool, you are. If you're a rock star, you are. If you feel young and energetic, you are. You won't care about your age. But if you feel old, well, you are. Are you a 60-year-old baby boomer who's moping around thinking self-defeating thoughts about what you're going to do for the rest of your life? Or are you a boomer who's jazzed about the idea that you can choose your own destiny, no matter your age? How many of you are jazzed about the idea that you can choose your destiny? Raise your hands. Yes. That's cool. So, that mantra will get us a very, very long life. And parenthetically, another way I look at age is what the yogis say, because I'm a yoga teacher. The yoga